Today I learned after Colonel Shaw died in battle, Confederates buried him in a mass grave as an insult for leading black soldiers. Union troops tried to recover his body, but his father sent a letter saying we would not have his body removed from where it lies surrounded by his brave and devoted soldiers. Today I learned that in 1916 there was a proposed amendment to the US Constitution that would put all acts of war to a national vote, and anyone voting yes would have to register as a volunteer for service in the United States Army. Today I learned of Dr. Donald Hopkins. He helped eradicate smallpox, and is on the verge of killing another disease. He's taken guinea worm disease down from 3.5 million cases a year to just 28 cases last year. Today I learned when the Nazis burned Sigmund Freud's books he said, "What progress we are making. In the Middle Ages they would have burned me. Now, they are content with burning my books." Today I learned Dennis Ritchie, who invented the C programming language, co-created the Unix operating system, and is largely regarded as influencing a part of effectively every software system we use on a daily basis, died 1 week after Steve Jobs. Due to this, his death was largely overshadowed and ignored. Today I learned that Willie, a parrot, alerted its owner, Megan Howard, when the toddler she was babysitting began to choke. Megan was in the bathroom. The parrot began screaming "Mama, baby" while flapping its wings as the child turned blue. Megan rushed over and performed the Heimlich, saving the girl's life. Today I learned in the 1880s, the Harvard Observatory director was frustrated with his staff, and would say my Scottish maid could do better, so he hired his Scottish maid. Wilhelmina Fleming ran a team for decades, classified tens of thousands of stars, and discovered white dwarfs and the Horsehead Nebula. Today I learned there was an early 1900s act named Sober Sue, whose draw was She Never Smiled. Or theater offered $1,000 to anyone who could make her laugh, attracting big comedians. Crowds came out to watch them try and fail, giving them a free show. Later it came out that Sue suffered from facial paralysis. Today I learned during the American Revolution, an enslaved man was charged with treason and sentenced to hang. He argued that as a slave, he was not a citizen and could not commit treason against a government to which he owed no allegiance. He was subsequently pardoned. Today I learned a man created a fake restaurant on TripAdvisor and asked around for good reviews. Eventually, the fake restaurant was the #1 restaurant in London, and was being called up 100s of times daily for bookings. For a day, the man set up a cafe in his backyard and served frozen food to rave reviews. Today I learned, some farmers in Bangladesh have switched to raising ducks instead of chickens, because during catastrophic floods, ducks float. Today I learned Keanu Reeves often forgoes some of his paychecks so that producers can bring on other notable actors. On The Devil's Advocate, he reduced his salary by a few $1 million so that they could afford Al Pacino, and he did the same thing on The Replacements to be able to work with Gene Hackman. Today I learned, Lawrence Turod named himself professionally as Mr. T because he hated how his father, uncle, and brother who returned from Vietnam were disrespectfully called boy by whites. He wanted the first word from everybody's mouth to be Mr. when speaking to him. Today I learned that a depressed Manchester teen used several fake online personas to convince his best friend to murder him, and after surviving the attack, he became the first person in UK history to be charged with inciting their own murder. Today I learned that the Cuban Missile Crisis began when a CIA operative noticed soccer fields on a Cuban military base. Cubans play baseball, Russians play soccer. Today I learned planned obsolescence is illegal in France. It is a crime to intentionally shorten the lifespan of a product with the aim of making customers replace it. In early 2018, French authorities used this law to investigate reports that Apple deliberately slowed down older iPhones via software updates. Today I learned when Nintendo had a fall in revenue from the less successful Wii U, its CEO cut his pay in half for 5 months rather than blame workers. Today I learned that Eminem watched his daughter, Hailey, get crowned homecoming queen from an empty classroom in the school because he didn't want to take the attention away from her. Today I learned Carrie Fisher told her fans, "No matter how I go, I want it reported that I drowned in moonlight, strangled by my own bra." Today I learned a Harvard study found that hiring one highly productive toxic worker does more damage to a company's bottom line than employing several less productive, but more cooperative, workers. Today I learned apes don't ask questions. While apes can learn sign language and communicate using it, they have never attempted to learn new knowledge by asking humans or other apes. They don't seem to realize that other entities can know things they don't. It's a concept that separates mankind from apes. Today I learned that in the 1950s, donut shops were some of the first food businesses commonly open late at night. They became hotspots for police working the night shift since it gave them a place to grab a snack, fill out paperwork, or even just take a break. This is why donuts became associated with cops. Today I learned that Yao Ming's conservation campaigns has led to a 50% drop in shark fin soup consumption in China. He is now working on poaching as well. Today I learned that after Beethoven went deaf, he found he could affix a metal rod to his piano and bite down on it while he played, enabling him to hear perfectly through vibrations in his jawbone. The process is called bone conduction. Today I learned that the Mythbusters once tested a combination of common materials that made an extremely powerful explosive. They deleted the tapes and swore to never release the information, then contacted DARPA and warned them about the possibility of misuse from the combination. Today I learned Max Planck was told by his professor to not go into physics because almost everything is already discovered. Planck said he didn't want to discover anything, just learn the fundamentals. He went on to originate quantum theory and win a Nobel Prize.